Don't forget, all right. Yeah.
ועשו לי
מקדש ושכנתי בתוכם,
ואנחנו נברך מעתה ועד עולם. ועשו לי מקדש ושכנתי בתוכם, ואנחנו נברך מעתה ועד עולם.
Welcome, everyone. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
It's good to be together as the week comes to a close. We step back from our concerns, from our worries, from everything that takes place during the week, and we create this special space and this special time to celebrate Shabbat, to celebrate our day of rest. And our services tonight are very special because Cantor and I are going to be joined by so many people. We're going to be joined by Shane Hepworth, the guy over there who's celebrating his bar mitzvah this week, who's going to lead us tonight and be called to the Torah tomorrow. Shane, I'm so excited that we're finally celebrating with you your bar mitzvah. We're also going to be joined by our Daled class. Good to have all you guys in the front. Awesome class. You're going to set the bar really high for class Shabbats this year, right? You're the first one. So you're practicing. You're going to all participate and help us lead services and make it special for the community tonight. So we begin our time together by marking the transition from the week to Shabbat, to our sacred time, with the bracha, the blessing over candle lighting. I'm going to invite everyone to please rise. And Shane, I'm going to invite you to bring your family, your parents, and your siblings up to the bima to help lead the candle lighting blessing. Grandmother, too.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת. Amen. Mazel tov.
May be seated. Shane, you're going to stay with us up on the bima, and we pick up the Sidurim, the prayer books, the smaller of the two books in the pews, and we turn to page 11 for Kabbalat Shabbat, series of prayers and songs that we've recited on Friday evening since the 16th century, since the mystics included it as part of the service. And Shane leads us in a lot of Kabbalat Shabbat, the first part of the service, and our Dalet class leads us in the second parts of the service. But just one request, as you see so many of our kids, our students leading us tonight, that this is a prayer service that we participate in every week, and we are so thrilled to have all of you leading us. So I just ask people to keep in mind that as a prayer service, please don't film the service. Experience the service, sing along, participate, but it's not something that we record. So Shane, page 11, Lechuner Anina.
Lechuneranena, 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 ladonai. Lechuneranena, 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 ladonai. Naria, naria, litor yishenu nekad mafanav betoda. Naria, naria, litor yishenu bizmirot naria lo. Lechuneranena, 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 ladonai. Lechuneranena, 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 ladonai.
The heavens shall be glad and the earth rejoice, the sea and its fullness roar. The meadows and all that grows in them exalt. Even the trees of the forest shall sing praise to God. We turn to page 14. In the middle of the page, Yismechu Hashamayim.
Yismehu Hashamayim. Yismehu Hashamayim. Yismehu Hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam. Lo oh. Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam. Lo oh. Yismehu Hashamayim. Yismehu Hashamayim. Yismehu Hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz.
We turn to page 20, the final three lines of the page at the red arrow, Romemu.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtahavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtahavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtahavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtahavu lehar kodsho.
Imagine Shabbat like the most special day you could imagine. They imagined it like a wedding. And they pictured Shabbat taking the form of a bride entering at the beginning of the wedding ceremony. They talked about the Shabbat Kala, the Shabbat bride. It's a very special figure in Jewish tradition. In the song Lecha Dodi, you encourages us to welcome the Shabbat Kala. Shane's going to lead us on page 23 in the first 2 stanzas. And then after that, when we reach the final stanza, Boi v'shalom, the tradition at that point is to rise in our places and to face the door, symbolically welcoming in Shabbat, page 23.
Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zechor betibor echad, hishmiyanu elcha me'yuhad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. L'shemo tiferet v'liti la 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 lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekorcha baracha, mi rosh mi kedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machashavat achila la 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 lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha uv'tzohala, toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, la 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 lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela.
May be seated. Shane, Yasher Koach for getting us started. We continue on page 27 at the top of the page, a song for the day of Shabbat, Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat.
Sing this beautiful melody together. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Uzamer l'shimcha elyon. Ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Lehagid baboker chastecha ve'emunatcha ba'leilot alei azor va'alei navel alei higayon צדיקת המר יפרח כארז בלבנון יזכה שתולים בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו, עוד ינבו בשיבה דשנים ורעננים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר אדוני, צורי ולא הבלטה בו.
Page 29.
Adonai malaki ulavesh, lavesh, Adonai osi tazar, aptigon tever baltimot. Mikolot mayim rabim, adirim ishbereyam, adir bamarom Adonai, erotecha nemnu milbitcha navakodesh, Adonai leorech yamim.
So Kita Dalet, I'm going to ask you guys to stand up for a moment and go find your parents, wherever they're sitting in the room. Because each Shabbat, we share words of bracha, words of blessing, at home traditionally with our children at the Shabbos table. Here in our community, we share it with everyone else together in the sanctuary in our community. And we share the oldest words of blessing, one of the oldest Jewish prayers, the Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, the prayers that the priests blessed the whole people of Israel with. So I'm going to ask everyone to please rise. Feel free to put your arms around the person next to you, find your children, and we join together the words of Yivarechecha.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. Ken yehi ratzon. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasim lecha shalom. Ken yehi ratzon yasim lecha shalom. Ken yehi ratzon yasim lecha shalom. Ken yehi ratzon.
May God's Spirit turn unto you, and may God grant you shalom, grant you peace. Ken yehi ratzon. May be seated. Dalit class, you can come on and back up to the front. Now we turn to our prayer for healing, prayer called the Mishaberach. We think of the people in our lives in need of physical and spiritual well-being. Sometimes they might be people who are with us, sometimes it might be ourselves, sometimes it's people who we wish were here together with us but can't be. And if you'd like to include someone in the prayer for healing, want to share their name out loud, I invite you to rise and to share the names when I come to you. Amen. Let kol hacholim and all those who are ill, we join together the prayer for healing.
Mishaberach avotinu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mikor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
The words of the Kaddish, page 30. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divera kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, b'hagala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevorach leolam ulameo maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudshah brichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May be seated. So typically after Kabbalat Shabbat, the opening parts of the service, I would share a Dvar Torah, a word of Torah. But when we have class Shabbatot, class services, our students get to be our teachers. So I'm going to call on their teacher, Mary Margaret Cantor, to introduce the Dalet class.
Shabbat Shalom. First of all, thank you, congregation, for allowing Kita Dalet to share in your Shabbat services tonight. And Shane, thank you for letting us barge in a little on your special weekend. I have had the very great privilege of being both your teacher and your fan in the audience as you've performed. And having raised a thespian myself, I know exactly how much work goes into every one of those performances. So I admire you even more. And I wish you the very best on your bar mitzvah. Liam Parker, so much fun to see you again, now that you've moved on to being older children and not with us anymore. But, and AJ and Suzanne, the great joy of teaching with you and getting to know you. So my very best wishes and mazel tov to you all. And darling Dalits, you remember back when you were in first grade? Who was your teacher? So what did you want to say to her tonight? Mazel tov to you all. So Kita Dalet this year is studying Israel. That's our curriculum for the year, our beloved homeland. And it's pretty early in the year, but we have covered quite a bit of information. We've talked about the Zionists and their dream, and how their dream came to be a reality. And we've studied Torah, so we know where the Zionists knew. We know where they knew to put Israel. And then one of my favorite parts to teach, and one of Rabbi's, wherever he went, a favorite to hear, is about Hatikvah each year. So this class has studied Hatikvah, its origin, its meaning, the special meaning it has to us right now in the world the way it is, And so they are going to present to you a poem that they've written, and I hope you will learn something about Hatikva as well. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
In the 1890s, our hope was not yet lost, that we have freedom in our land. It all began in the 1890s. A shortened poem became a dream that gave hope. It was final at the 2004 Olympics when Israel won their first gold medal. They needed a song to play, and they chose Hatikva.
In 1948, modern Israel was founded,
The Zionist dream was realized.
and the home of the Jews was created.
We face the place we call Jerusalem.
And sing our sacred song.
We take 3 steps back and 3 steps forward, because at Temple we feel we belong.
Sometimes we have to fight, but as long as hope is in our hearts,
We will end up where the Jewish souls
sings.
The Jewish soul keeps everyone connected, no matter how far apart.
Beautiful. And now, friends in the congregation, we'd like to ask you to please rise and join us in the singing of Hatikva. Okay, move to your spot and grab a flag. Good job, good job. Amazingly good job, good job, good job, good job.
Thank you, Kita Daled. They're going to stay up at the front as they continue to lead us in the Mari of the evening service. We turn in the Sidurim to page 39 for the Baruch Hu.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Do you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch et Adonai, HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai, HaMevorach, Le'olam Va'ed, Le'olam Va'ed. Yadalai, lai, lai, 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 yadalai, lai, lai.
May be seated. Blessed are you, Lord our God, creator of the universe, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from before the light.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים. תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרבי.
Amen. Page 40.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך, אהבת תורה ומצוות ומשפט. כי הם חיינו ואורך יבינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, בבטך תשים ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Continue on page 42. ויאמר משה מדבר בני ישראל ואמרת להם בעזרם ציצי דקן פייתם ירמל ציצי דקן אבטל דקן ציצי דקן
אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Then Moses, Miriam, and the people of Israel joyfully sang this song to you, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, page 44.
Adonai
נאמר כי פדרנו את יעקב וגלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני God Israel.
Amen. Allow us, God, to sleep peacefully and awaken us again to life. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow, and remove the evil forces that surround us. Blessed are you who spreads a canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem. Page 45, the nighttime prayer, Hashkivenu.
Join together, Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu, Adonai, Eloheinu, Leshalom, Leshalom. Hashkivenu, Adonai, Eloheinu, Leshalom, Leshalom. V'ha'amidenu, Malkeinu, L'chaim, L'chaim. Ufros aleinu, Sukkot, Shlomecha, Shlomecha. Join together. Sometimes I lay under the moon and thank God I'm breathing. And then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let get me down, 'cause when negativity surrounds, I know someday we'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will play one day, one day, one day. Whoa, one day, one day, one day. Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lishalom, V'hamidenu Malkeinu L'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lishalom, V'hamidenu Malkeinu L'chaim. Ushmor tzitenu vo'inu l'chaim u'shalom, ne'atav yad olam ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha, baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim.
Amen. Page 46, please rise.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. B'ni u'bein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et haaretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. U'bayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה, ובזמן קריב יאמרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר, ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמי קודשה בריחו, לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמא, במהרו אמן.
We spend the next few moments in silent prayer with the words of the Amidah, beginning on page 47.
You've completed your Amidah. You may be seated. This week's Parsha is Parshat Lech Lecha. God tells Abraham, go forth, or Lech Lecha, go to yourself. And Abraham, at the age of 75, has his, now what we call, Lech Lecha moment. When you start to do what you were born to do, that's your Lech Lecha moment. For Abraham, he moved towards monotheism, God. He started the narrative of the entire Jewish people. And he did it at 75. So that teaches us we can do it at any age. And be like Abraham, Lechi lach. Lechi lach, to a land that I will show you. Lech lecha, to a place you do not know. Lechi lach, on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach. Lechi lach. And I shall make your name great. Lech Lecha, and all shall praise your name. Lechilach, to the place that I will show you. Lesimchat Chaim, Lesimchat Chaim, Lesimchat Chaim, Lechilach. And you shall be a blessing, you shall be a blessing, and you shall be a blessing, Lechilach.
We continue on page 54 with Kaddish Shalem. While Cantor is chanting the Kaddish, I'm going to invite Shane to join us back up on the bima to get ready for Kiddush, and invite any kids that want to come up for Kiddush to join Alan Jonathan over here at the foot of the bima, page 54, Kaddish Shalem.
Yikaravi kadash meraba.
Amen.
Yamadi vrachiru teviam nikmachote b'chayachonu v'imachonu b'chayt kol Beit Yisrael. Bagalau v'zman kariv yimru
Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach, le'olam olam me'omaya, yitbarach.
Yiparach v'yishlavach v'yipar v'trama v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitala v'yitala shminu kudsha b'richu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushb'chata v'nachmata damiran v'yama v'yimru amen. Tivka ba'otzotonu v'oton t'cho Yisrael kodam avuhonu v'yishmai v'yimru amen. Yehi shomar rabba min shmai v'chaim leinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom v'yimroma v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen. Amen.
Page 55, please rise for the Kiddush, led this evening by Shane Hepworth. Amen.
Zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit, Hi hu yom tehila lemikra kodesh. Zecher litziat mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava uvratzon, inchatanenu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Amen.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Yasher Koach Shane. We continue page 56 with Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu noteh shamayim v'yoser haaretz umoshav yikaro b'shamayim nimal u'shchinatu zo b'kavei meromim hu Eloheinu heinon emevakenu efes uleto kakatu b'torato v'yadat hayom v'hashevota el levavecha ki Adonai hu Elohim b'shamayim v'imad v'haaretz mitachat einon. Kakatu b'toratecha Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני
May be seated. We turn to page 58. This week we observe the Yort sites of Aaron Gleiberman, Brian Binder, Isaac Berkman, Joyce Haber, Leo Grosswald, Leonard Maddens, Louis Barman, Morris Mandel, Stella Shapiro, Abraham Minkin, Abraham Schaefer, Albert Sokoloff, Betty Kaufman, David Heskins, George Gould, Marianne Campbell, Sylvia Fratkin, Albert Jacobson, Blanche Shefflin, Joseph Lasac, Marion Sands, Ronnie Walter Abramovitz, Stanley Allen Gertzman, Tema Silver, Albert Russo, Eileen Kennedy, Evelyn Rosen, Helen Newman, Joe Miller, Nathan Sutker, Paul Pincus Lavitt, Abram Bergen, Emily Vallely, Etta Bass Levy, Jack Puncher, Jenny Edwards Bloom, Ruth J. Michaelman Floor, Beatrice Lavitt, Deborah Litwak Mixer, Maurice Rosenkrantz, Francis Rosen, Fred Lazar, Harold Schwartz, Helen Weil, Irving Bernstein, Irving Strogatz, Clara Candless, Isaac Lusky, Joseph Pinchuk, Cynthia Abrams, Etta Greenspan, and Nancy Mizell. We also extend condolences to congregants in the midst of Shloshim, the period of 30 days following the death of a loved one, to Marshall Oran on the passing of his brother Phil Oran, and to Tammy Cohen on the passing of her mother Rosemary Zolman. Page 58, I invite those in mourning or marking a Yort site to rise and join me in the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divera kirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevorach leolam u'lomei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha brichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata damiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May be seated. Representing the Temple Israel Board of Trustees, I call on Amy Yudoff.
All right, Shabbat Shalom. First off, Mazel Tov to the Hepworths. We know you're really proud of Shane, and you already started us off in a great job, so we're excited to see you tomorrow. And also, I want to say a big Mazel Tov to Kitat Dalit. You guys did a great job, and I really enjoyed hearing you sing. And thanks to Naomi Faves, Al and Jonathan, and their teachers, Mary Margaret, Liat, and Noah. And also, I'd like to thank Wodi and the Men's Club for sponsoring their Shabbat dinner tonight. That's wonderful. A few other reminders. Our 6th annual fundraiser will be on Sunday, December 15th. This year's fundraiser will feature an inspiring music performance by our own cantor Shira Lissick, along with our esteemed guest artist, Israeli cantor Magda Fishman. Both will deliver songs of resilience and hope that celebrate the strength and spirit of our Jewish community. It will be a truly uplifting evening and a chance to support our Temple Israel community. We're also honoring Lynn and Maury Sheffer, dedicated members since the late 70s, with the Shofar Award for their 40 years of devotion and service to Temple Israel. It's our only event-based fundraiser of the year, and your success as a sponsor helps to ensure Temple Israel's continued growth and success. Join Still next Tuesday, November 12th from 1 to 3 p.m. for a discussion with our congregants, Alla and Mike. Can you help me with their last name? Mogilevsky about growing up and being Jewish in Russia, and join the Empty Nesters at Old Meck Brewery for beer fun and food on Thursday, November 14th at 6:30, and Wody on November 21st at 6:15 for a roaring 20s night with drinks, mingling, and learning, and costumes are optional if you would like to dress up. And lastly, I want to thank all of the auxiliary groups for planning all these fun events throughout the year, and our congregational family enjoys gathering and being together. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Amy. We're going to turn back to page 5 for Shalom Aleichem to conclude our services. If you're staying for the Kita Dalet class Shabbat dinner, you're invited to go into the first bay in the social hall over there behind the sanctuary and to find its place at the table. And we'll begin when Naomi and Alan come on in to lead you all. Tomorrow morning, we gather again at 9:30 a.m. for Shabbat morning services, and we celebrate the bar mitzvah of Shane Hepworth. Page 5, Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shalom Aleichem Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Ay, 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 Boachem L'Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu. Nila Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Nila Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Tzidchem L'Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Mazel Tov.